welcome back everybody to the channel. Welcome to potential new people who might land here today. This is kind of a thing I used to do a while back, is a 5 o'clock Feierabend live stream. Doing a little quick check-in with you guys, make sure everybody's happy to see my face and make sure everybody's doing okay. Got a couple of announcements I'd like to share with you guys as soon as I get the first couple of people to roll in here. And I missed my window to pull out into traffic there because I wasn't paying attention. So really cool new, I have a milestone that I've reached, or I'm about to reach a great milestone here with my YouTube career. The endless winter is finally coming to a halt, and a lot of good things are starting to unfold. I could probably just pitch a tent right here. Look at this endless, we had an endless winter, now I have the endless traffic jam. There's nowhere to pull into this traffic. And then if I get to the end of the circle down there, it'll be all sitting there for an hour trying to get to the Autobahn. Oh, hello, Andalucita. That's a name I haven't seen before. I hope I didn't pronounce that incorrectly. Welcome to the channel there. I'm just gonna have to pay attention for a quick brief moment here while I'm trying to get out into the busy traffic without causing any disruptions here. And make sure I've got on all notifications. Okay, here we go. I've got on all notifications. Live chat, there we go. All right, great. All right, now I can see everybody's messages. That's awesome. On my way home now. I had a busy day today. Work a little cautiously. I don't know what I did yesterday. I worked almost up until midnight planting some trees. And I felt impelled to buy the biggest chestnut tree that I could find, which cost me an arm and a leg, but I just had to have it. I've walked by it now 3 or 4 times in the what do you call a school of trees? In the plant nursery, and I just had to have it. So I went back there and I bought it. So I'm super broke until next month. But it makes me happy. I guess it's happy to be broke, which paid for. To know where you spent your money, but that's a different story. That's an investment for later. It's one of those things that I've been planning the homestead around the Viking camp for, potentially to be able to sustain a certain amount of my food that I wish to be processing in the future. And so I have something that I can produce on my own versus having to go out and buy everything at the store, which will, I keep spending more and more money buying less and less groceries, but that's not what this live stream is going to be about. Yes, so it's been about 4 years now on the channel. Actually, let's see, 2018. I started 2018. And then started in the end of 2018, and then I got really started 2019. So it's been about 4 years now, going on 4 years. And I am 95 watch hours away from actually getting that 4,000 watch hour goal. And I sound like a beginner, man. It's amazing to actually have ever reached that point. And it's very realistically at reach at this point. It's not like 1,000 or 2,000, and I've been really sharing my videos on different platforms, making sure that those videos get lots of views. And some of my older videos, recycling them into shorts, and it's just a lot of work. It takes up all your time. And at the moment, there's so many things going on in all directions around me that I don't have the energy and the time to go out and film the things with the quality that I would like to offer you guys. I have so many wonderful things that I'd like to share with you, and I'm spending those moments that I don't have the time and energy to do them, to plan them out efficiently, so that when I do, they will be worth my time and definitely be worth yours. That's why you're sharing the adventure here on this channel, is you guys want to have something in return. So I'm really working really hard to give you guys that quality of content, and it takes some planning and a lot of things happening around the homestead. Now we just got a new property added to our to our homestead that's right down the road from the Viking camp. And it's right across the street from the sawmill, actually, which is really useful for our for traveling for lumber. We don't even have to, basically could just walk across the street and get each board. So my main concern would be to get all that squared away, since the previous owner left us with a horde of trash, and I'm working on cleaning that up. All the free time that I have is doing the quality off camera, just because I haven't been able to get to it. And I've really, projects accumulate waste and change things. And the new property, I mean, there was like 2 trailer loads so far of trash that I had to haul out of there, and I'm still working on the 3rd load of trash. There's tires, there's tarps, and I'm taking the metal detector through there. I'm finding tractor parts and old metal ropes and chains and rusty chains and about 1,000 nails and screws and beer cans. Oh my God, I have like 3 big plastic bags full of beer cans, and soda cans, beer cans, and all the aluminum cans basically. And it's getting that to where it's been cleaned out to the quality that I was hoping. It's a little bit around the corner. We got to put up a fence, and we applied for our permission for the aviary to be built. So we're really excited now. The permission went to the local town hall, and they saw that there should be no problem. And now the permission is going to be requested from the state. Oh crap, what was that? Was that just something hit my windshield? Yeah, it's a brand new windshield, and as you know, that's usually how it goes. I don't have to wash the windshield ever to see what happens if something just hit the windshield. I hope it was just a big bug. Okay. Where was I? Yes, so the permission for us to build the aviary is now passed along to the next station. It's the Construction Bureau of whatever, I don't know how to say it in English, but now it's at the actual place it really matters, that you get the big yes or big no. And that's going to take up to a year or more, they say. So that's really, it could take up to a year for someone to pick up a piece of paper, look at it, and say yes or no, which is ridiculous. Because I'm waiting on this to do business, to start. This is my existence to be able to move on and create a foundation to work from and to create a customer base. And I can't do advertisement until I have foundations to work and grow my business. So this is just, it's a great circle of bureaucracy here in Germany. So you just have to either somehow weed through it, know people, or just tough it up and truck along. And that's what we're doing. Trying to make the best of it. And in the meanwhile, we have many other programs that we can run on that property to sustain some of our income there. So that's going to be great. Working on getting the infrastructure set up. We've got to figure out the toilet situation, because you can't have a public place without a toilet. We need a shelter, and so all of that good stuff. But that's coming along piece by piece. We're working on cleaning it up, planting a lot of bee and bird and nature and butterfly friendly plants to enrich the area, because we're also going to be keeping bees there as well. Speaking of bees, yesterday I actually got the time. Finally, we had the first couple of sunny days now since weeks. It's been very depressing, nothing but heavy rain, and it's been very tough. It's been cold and heavy rain for weeks now. Today and yesterday were kind of the first beautiful sunny days, and I had a really busy day yesterday. I went out to you guys have probably heard of the town called Eder Oberstein. It's the gemstone capital of Europe some 100 years ago. I drove all the way out there, which is about over an hour drive. And I went to go and try to pick up a new front bench seat for the other van that I'm working on for the orange van. And I picked one up. I was hoping the one from the model after it would fit into the holes in the ground so I could bolt it one-to-one. But it ended up being a big pain in the butt, and I'm out of $500, which is a real big problem. But no risk, no fun, right? But I'm really confident I can easily sell that bench seat again online, because I got it a couple $100 cheaper than the other ads on the internet. So if I put it in for around the same price that I bought it, plus a little bit of money for fuel, I should be able to resell it within a couple of weeks easily and just have that money back and move on, because I'm trying to get that project finished. The orange van, I'm going to be changing the turbo this weekend, and hopefully that thing will be moving along. It feels like it's got 80 horsepower. It should have 120. It should drive like this van, at least. This van runs pretty well. I'm expecting at least this performance after doing that repair. We'll see. It's been bothering me. It's been one of those battles that you're trying to find the mistake and you just can't get it, throwing parts at it. I fixed all the electronically diagnosable things and all the other mechanical issues and narrowed it down to the turbo or the charging system of the turbo. So if it's not the turbo, it's going to be some other parts that aren't that expensive, so I won't worry about that too much. And if I replace everything and it still won't run, then I'll just be like, it just has 80 horsepower. According to the VIN and the engine code, though, it should be like exactly the same as this one. Yeah, so the bees, I got to open the bees up yesterday and actually looked through. Looks like I lost one more colony due to the fact that the queen had somehow died. A large amount of bees in there. I'd say there was still 8,000, which is a good number of bees coming out of the winter. But there was no queen and no brood. So that made me wonder what happened, but that's going to happen anytime. And they had one little booger of something that they had produced on the frame. And I was like, what is that? And I scraped it off, and I was like, lo and behold, that was their queen cell that they had made in the uttermost emergency to try to save their colony. You know, on the one side, it was kind of sad, but an emergency queen that the colony does at last minute from whatever they can find in their colony on larva would have never been a great quality queen to have in your colony at all in the first place. So I really didn't make that much of a big mistake in the first place. So what I did to correct that was I had just finished the colony next to it, which was actually a bee split from the previous year from that colony. So the queen is genetically related to that queen, and I like the properties of those bees because they do a lot of propolis. Welcome there, Viking, Modern Viking Norway. Welcome. I'm trying to peek down here. I'm really trying to pay attention once in a while down to see what you guys are writing, but I have to focus. I'm on the German Autobahn here. It's like NASCAR 400. Got people zooming around, passing me. So every once in a while, I'll try to read who pops in here and some of the comments, but I really got to focus on the road. Yeah, so I got the bees. So what I did is I just moved that healthy colony of bees with the queen. I made sure that the one without the queen had all the frames properly, fresh frames, and had plenty of food. And I just sat the colony with the queen right on top of it because they've been queenless now for a good at least 10 days. So they'll accept that colony, no problem. So now I have a really good double stack colony with about 25,000 bees in there, which will develop really nicely these next couple of days. They have plenty of food. I just finished that first colony up and stacked them with some sugar paste to feed them. They had a little bit of food stacked in there as well, but I want to make sure that it's still going to be very cold these next couple of days. We're still going to have below freezing temperatures here for at least another week or so, and I want to make sure that they don't starve, because they're going to, in order to heat that colony to the correct, to be able to keep the brood from freezing, they need a lot of energy. That's going to be a lot of food. And since the weather's been poor, they missed their head start on this year within the willow. Some of the willows that is going to be blooming these next couple of weeks, but a lot of the plants that have, for this time of the year, have bloomed out already due to the excessive amount of rain we had. So that's going to be the next phase of the spring is coming. So I'm looking forward to the cherry blossoms. That's going to do that might be something. And the wraps, I actually may have an actual opportunity to take the bees out to the wraps, to get some of the pollen and nectar there, get some honey this year. That would be one of my great goals this year, to actually have some honey. I've been keeping bees now for 3 years, learning something, had some miserable failures in between, and the weather has been really raining on my parade, literally. I think it's those government spy satellites with the lasers that can control the weather, so we all have a hard and miserable time. All that can't grow our own food. That's one of those conspiracies I put on my tinfoil helmet for. Yeah, so that's one thing. The bees are coming along well. I was very happy to have checked them yesterday and made sure they were all squared away. That's off my conscience. That felt really good. I did a lot of gardening work. I cleaned up a lot of the flood damage. There's a lot of flood damage at the Viking camp. All the red sand that I had just filled up in some of the places had washed out and really got into some of my other places of the garden. Vanessa worked very hard on last year to build, and I have to mend that mistake. I made a mistake when I was filling up the ground that I didn't fill up one area to a specific point so the rainwater would run to the proper section of the camp. And I'm going to amend that mistake here once the weather repairs once it dries up, so I can drive the Bobcat up there and raise the altitude of the current lowest point on that terrain there, so the water runs down. I may have a natural spring springing out of the ground now, which was a great surprise for me. I had some spring water, natural spring water, seeping out of the hillside there, which was interesting because that wasn't there before. So I may utilize that and actually go get some sandstones and make like a little waterway there. That would be great to have that at the camp. I need to get some IBC tanks. I need to expand my water supply from 1,000 to at least 2,000 or 3,000. And then we'll go from there. We gotta stop at the stop sign here. We got like 3 cars in front of us. We're almost at the Viking camp now. We're gonna stop. That's where I'm gonna probably end the stream. But I'm gonna stop. I'll sit there and chat with you guys for a little bit. This is beautiful weather. It's almost light until 8 o'clock now. Yes, a Lance Corporal, a veteran. The garden is a great resource, and I really would like to. I do new things every year. I do experiments, kind of try to learn new skills, of course, try out new different kinds of plants and different ways to cultivate them. Since I'm a very picky eater, I only grow what I like to eat, and maybe 1 or 2 of the. I like to propagate trees. That's one of my great hobbies. That's one of my hobbies I really enjoy a lot. Finding trees that I enjoy and propagating certain types of fruit trees and trees that are useful for the bees or that I just like to have around, like oak trees are great. And I have made some cuttings of this great old apple tree in my parents' backyard where I grew up. I grew up under this apple tree, and this is such a wonderful apple tree. I just love this tree. It's probably over 100 years old. It's got to be. I'm 30 years old now, and that tree was huge when I was small, so it was probably at least 60 years old when I was a kid. And so that tree it's probably well over 100 years old now. And it's still got apples on it, and it still looks wonderful. And I love that tree. I have so many nice memories about it. So what I did is I took some cuttings from it just to see if I could get them to root. And I look in my pail yesterday, just grazing through all of my random things that I don't remember what they are because I have so many different random cuttings stuck in a pail at random. And I look at them and I realize I had them segregated separately. And 3 or 4 of them actually had little blossoms. Which tells me and I did these before the winter. I took these in the late fall. And so I know they survived. They've already got blossoms. So that's going to be so cool to see this little tiny little apple tree with like 2 or 3 apples on them. I'm excited to see if it's going to try to grow apples. That's going to be really exciting. Yeah, this guy almost ran over this old lady on the crosswalk. Yeah. That's really awesome to see the end of Fimbulwinter. That's why I titled this live stream, I got that live stream, the end of winter, the end of Fimbulwinter. We've had this terrible long winter with nothing but bad news, horrible news. The world was on fire in different places. There's war and had all these terrible things happening in places, and it's still not over with. And we've had terrible weather. It's been nothing but cold and nasty. And we've had a couple of nice days in there between, but it's about time the spring and the summer came back so that we can start to feel that life energy warm us back up, soak up some fresh, charge our batteries. I really need to get out there and charge up my batteries again. I'm planning a big trip here in May. I'm planning a big tour. I'm going to take you guys along with me. It's going to be a daily blog or something like that. I've never done anything like that. It's really exciting for me. I'm going to be touring the north of Germany and Denmark, and I'm going to be seeing all of the really cool, oh, that's a nice pothole. I'm going to be visiting all of the Viking museums and Viking locations. I'm going to be doing some research so I know exactly where to go and what to review with you guys so that you guys can come along on my journey with me and actually share the experience. So that's me. I'm really excited to be able to go do that. That's at least I'm planning on, life happens and things change, but that is the plan towards middle of May to begin my journey and be back. It's going to be like a 2-week. Is it Hedeby? For you guys, I'm going to get really the best choice there. My GoPro camera and the Canon camera to do some filming as well. I got to get all my stuff set up and squared away. I want to hook my van up with portable electricity. I got so many things to do and my budget is already out the roof, but it doesn't matter. We have to continue going forward. We have to continue going in the direction that we have our mindset and our goals set. So that's important. And I'm going to then move from Hedeby. I'd like to spend a couple days on the beach collecting pretty rocks and flint and just sitting there and just breathing some of that air. And then I want to drive north to visit my buddy Ramuni from Denmark. He's going to be with his Viking battle group. I believe he's one of the Jomsviking reenactors there in Denmark. And we're going to be hanging out together for a couple of days, making a collaboration video, possibly, in Denmark at the Ribe Viking Center, which is going to be very cool. Very excited, looking forward to that. Hello, Bjorn, welcome. I'm very glad to see you. And speaking of the devil, I was just explaining a little bit about the plans that I have for traveling north here in the next coming month, in May. So then I may be able to, I have to see how things go financially. And the situation with Pooh Bear, I don't think I can take Pooh Bear to Norway with me because of the boat, because of the ferry. That's the main reason I'm contemplating how I'm going to do this. When it gets to the beginning of May, I'm going to be able to plan things much more detailed and in depth than at this moment. But I do also plan on taking a day trip over to taking the ferry across the Baltic Sea over to, or the North Sea, I don't know which way the ferry goes. It's going to cross the ocean over into Sweden, do a little sightseeing in Sweden, see some of the forest over there, take maybe a couple of days there, and then proceed to Norway and spend some time there as well. And then on my way back home, visit some of the places I didn't get to see last time I was up there 3 years ago. That was a long time. 3 years went by like nothing. Here we go on the bumpy. This is the bumpy, the terrible road that's off to the Viking camp here. I feel like a rallycross driver. I have to repair this road. It totally washed out the entire road, and this is really beating up my van like you won't believe, and my bones. Terrible back pain today. All right, we're almost there. Woo. I kind of enjoy that. Oh, the bees are out. Wow, wonderful. Okay, we're almost at the top of the hill. There we go. All right, the sun is shining. Wonderful. I have arrived. Awesome. Shut the engine off. All right. Oh, that was fun. The only part that I'm really scared about a little bit is on that dirt road. Sometimes the ruts on the road, if I don't hit them correctly, it'll pull me off towards the ditch with the river. And I don't want to land in either side of the road. That would be not so good. Yeah, so I'm really excited about a lot of good things. Sharpie marker. And I'm looking forward to fixing up my van to get it roadworthy for the trip. I've been doing a lot of work on it the last weeks. I've been extremely busy with the other van. I want to leave Vanessa with a very reliable van so that she can hop in there. And one of my other concerns is if I can somehow manage to arrange everything to leave Pooh Bear at home, I would really like to do that because that would free up, it would be really a vacation. I mean, I love taking my dog with me, but I have to have the assurance that if I leave him behind, everything is set 250%. I don't want to have any worries that there's anything going to happen while I'm gone that I can't control, that I can't go and immediately fix or have control over and be able to prevent any undue misfortune. Because then that's not a vacation. That's just it's just going to be prolonged stress the entire time if I can't concentrate on really going up there to charge up my batteries and do some research at the museum and have clear my head and free my mind of all the things that are going on in life and have been going on for the last long time now. It's going on a year now, the end of April, that I lost my good friend, my other dog. So that's, it's about last year, end of April. It was a tough time. So I really would like to go up to see the ocean and really relax a little bit, get some of that ocean air. That did me really good last year. That really helped out a little bit. And some of my day-to-day, aches and pains. I'd like to go see the ocean. I'd like to cross the ocean if possible, go see some of Sweden, some of Norway, go visit some good friends up there if that's going to be possible. But I will know more when the time gets closer, so we'll have to see about that. But my goal is to be one of those YouTubers, like to try that out, to be day-to-day, kind of do like an adventure, like a day-to-day blog here. I'll do filming, and what I'm going to try to do is set up my van so I have electricity, and then I will be able to charge my laptop up and actually edit videos right there in the back of the van and use my phone internet, basically. We'll see. Really excited. I've never done something this, like a blog or a mobile adventure. I do film live streams. You guys know that from time to time I film live streams. But I haven't been able to ever try to be one of those fancy YouTubers that have all the fancy gadgets and stuff. I'm moving up in the world there, I guess. Really, really good to see that. Yeah, so yeah, I don't like leaving my dogs. Yes, that's really a thing. But I trust Vanessa a lot. I trust her 100%. It's just that it's with the dog experience and there's some problems involved with the dog being Pooh Bear can't stay alone at home. And since we're having we have Vanessa's bird now, the falcon, he's about the size of a cell phone or a soda can. But he's got upstairs, he's got his place he stays upstairs, and if he hears him, he will run upstairs and try to bash through the door and to actually go and chase him, because Pooh Bear will hunt anything that moves. He's got such a very intense hunting instinct that he is a hunting dog, yeah, but sometimes you can't control it, and that's why he's always if you see him running, he's always on a long leash. He's got this really long leash that he runs on, and he can get up and run around, but if he takes off, I can go get him. I can catch him. Because there's deer. Just yesterday, we were walking here to do our daily walk, and the deer get up behind my hedgerow, and they just take off in the forest, and I had to distract them to pay attention to me, but I saw them before he did, so I was lucky, or else he would have pulled my arm right out. Yeah, Bay, I think that to talk briefly about that, I would like to say that we're those the political things. I've tuned out of a lot of it because my blood pressure can't allow me to watch all of this the news here, the news there, whatever not. But it raises my blood pressure, and that's unhealthy for me. So I really just try to stay informed, but I can't get too excited about it. There's nothing that I can do. Being prepared is a very wise choice. If you have resources to prepare yourself for you and your family, that is a very wise choice, regardless of where you are in the world. What's happening in the United States now is linked to everything that's happening worldwide right now, and we're seeing more and more of the worldwide establishments that are going to change the world in the next couple of years. And see, they didn't like me talking about that right there just now. They turned off the reception for a second, but yeah, that was a funny coincidence, don't you think? That we were just talking about the world establishments trying to take over the world, and they just shut off my live chat for a second there. Um, you guys still there? Because two people just left the chat, I guess because yeah, okay, there you go. Um, Hallo Gabriel, ja, hallo, vielen Dank. No, they didn't, which was real funny because I have absolutely excellent reception up here at the camp for some reason. I don't know. So one of my big goals for this year is actually to put solar on the Viking workshop and do a little bit of greening the roof so that the to cool the inside of the shop because it gets like very hot in there. I really would like to green the roof with some we call it Rollrasen in German, in English. Um, Lawn that you can roll out that's readily greened, and then I can just put some basically sod up on the roof, so it'll look a little more historic. Although I think we all know that the Viking the workshop here, the blacksmith shop, isn't historically inspired. It's aesthetically, historically inspired. It looks old. It's in an old fashioned. It's set up in an old fashioned to set the scenery up here. Um, this is so I can actually do work in there at an efficient rate. It needs to be somewhat modern, a little bit, and I can still break out the old tools and demonstrate historical procedures with historical tools. That's what's great about the workshop. And I'd like to set up the internet. I'd like to set up solar, and I have Starlink that I use at home. I'm very pleased with it for what it is. It's quite a bit expensive, but I really like having the fact that if I want to take it away, I put it in a suitcase and I take it wherever I would like to set it up next. And I have that internet there. That's what I like about that. And I would like to get a Starlink. I'd like to get my Starlink moved up here once we get our DSL high-speed fiber optic internet at the house. Then I'm going to, of course, prefer that because that is the highest high-speed internet that you can get. And they're running that cable through the town, presumably sometime 2023, 24. I signed up for the highest speed internet so that we can do high-quality streams from home if we'd like to. And I can upload videos and do all that stuff very efficiently. And I like to play my tank game once in a while too without having that issue. And I see I need to comb my beard. And I'd like to have the internet up here, which the Starlink would be an excellent quality internet to be able to stream from up here. My goal is to have multiple camera angles of the workshop. So when I'm working, you guys can watch me do blacksmith work from the anvil, from the forge. There'll be an angle for just the camera at the computer. So when we sit and talk just one-to-one like this, and it'll be great. It'll be something that I haven't seen. I've seen people try to do it, but they never set up anything at the quality and the quantity that I'm planning to do this. And once I take the next step here in YouTube, I'm hoping that this effort is going to pay into itself, that this is going to finance, or at least a great deal of it is going to be financed by my great efforts towards building this channel. And I'm going to be able to buy the resources that I need to set that up. I'm going to set up the cameras, the internet, and then possibly even have live cameras watching this place while I am away, and I can zoom in and check it out and kind of have surveillance on here to make sure everything's okay. Because you do get once in a while, you get somebody come up in here and be nosy, and I don't like that. Someone just recently really did something very foolish, and they've done it twice now. I don't know if it was the same person under a false name. Someone really ticked me off pretty bad. They walked up in here and they put a Google marker on this place, and I had to write Google and remove it twice now. And now it was twice, two different people. And once it even looked like a artificial intelligence was writing the message that they left behind the description of the place. So it's either someone, yeah, so that wasn't very cool. I had Google remove the location there, and I keep an eye on that because I don't like that. This is my sacred area. This is my private property. I come up here. This is like my private. This is like a little world up here of wholeness and protection, and you know, and sanctuary for me to come up here and be able to just sit here. This is an escape for me from the stress every day, and I don't want anyone up here trying to ruin that. I don't need that. There's a little bird hopping around over there. I'm distracted. Yeah, that's a lot of positive things though this year. Looking forward to my road trip. That's around my birthday too, middle of May. So I'm really excited to do that. If I somehow can manage it to maybe even bring Vanessa along with me with the dog, that would be great. Then I would definitely plan around taking Pooh Bear with me, because I'm never again, if I can help it, under due circumstances, leave Pooh Bear in a kennel. I will not do that. Last time I got him back, that was, first of all, they wanted like 900 euros, and they gave him drugs because he was too nervous. They did all kinds of weird tests with him, and I did not approve of that. I was angry. I almost had to, I was very angry. I didn't approve of that. And for like 3 days, he wasn't my little Pooh Bear. He was a weird, he wouldn't, so I was very angry. That's all I want to say. I want to leave it at the nice version of how I really feel about that person. But we'll leave it at that. I will either take him with me, and it'll be a limited trip with a lot of stress, but that's the price you pay for having a little furry friend, and I'll have to accept that, and it'll be perfectly fine. I just won't be able to do all of the great things I wanted to do, or the trip may take a couple of days longer. That's just how it is. Depending on the weather, I hope it doesn't get too hot. That's the other thing I'm worried about. If it gets too hot, I can't take him out during the day. I would have to, yeah, it would be something I have to really figure out. It would be a real bummer, but we'll see when time comes. I'll plan at the beginning of May. I have to start saving up a little bit of cash. I have to start investing a lot in this van. I have to put a lot of new parts on this. I'd like to have a lot of new parts on this when I go up there. And I just noticed I don't have a spare tire. Yeah, so I have to fix those problems. But that's, you know, me being the car mechanic, master mechanic. I can fix that problem real quick. I just have to have the energy and the time to fix two vans, run my YouTube channel efficiently, my life, all at once. Isn't that awesome? Yeah. So yeah, it's okay. I enjoy it, or I wouldn't do it. So at one point, you know. And once in a while, I got to kick in and save other people's world too while it's falling apart. That's part of being a modern Viking, I guess. All right. All right there. What else? Let's see. So the end of Fimbulwinter has actually, I think it has now, we are at the end of Fimbulwinter. The sun is, whole week is supposed to be sunny. Not too warm. It's still going to be very chilly. But the sun is going to be out. No rain. It's going to be great. I get to do some work out in the garden. And it's light out until 8 o'clock. Can you guys imagine that? It's 8 o'clock until the sun goes out now. It's so exciting. I was at home yesterday. I got all this work done. That's probably why my back is in pain, because I was lifting these heavy trees. And I was digging, and I was moving stones, and I was doing all of this in the cold. So I probably pulled some of my... I probably didn't do too good with, you know, on myself there. And hello, Luke and Mom, welcome. I didn't see you pop in there. I was talking. And yeah, so I'm working on that. The end of Fimbulwinter has arrived. And it's just wonderful to see all of the. I'm looking now out into the forest. Some of the trees have blossoms, and my hedgerow is actually growing pretty good. I've got a living, what do you call it? Not a living hedgerow. It's a Benjeshecke, we call it in German. It's where you pile up old and dead limbs and branches, and you make a big giant hedgerow out of them. And nature will then, birds will come in and poop plant seeds out all over, and natural hedges will grow from that because the birds. And it's also a very good thing to do if you have that, first of all, for a perimeter, and secondly, for natures, because it protects all of the smaller creatures like the hedgehogs, the lizards, the birds, and all of the insects that thrive and that don't get to have a place to nest otherwise, that's protected. Some of the smaller animals like the rabbits, they enjoy that sometimes, to have a place to be able to hide from the fox. And we have a lot of birds of prey here, which is actually, if I had $1,000 right now, I'd go buy myself one of those zoom lenses for the Canon camera that I have, and make some nice shots. I think in one of my videos, I think it was the carving the kuksa or the last blacksmith video I did, I actually got to film, I think it was in the Flint Striker video. Yeah, I just recently filmed that. I got to film the Rote Milan. I don't know what you call that in English, but it's one of the birds of prey here that we have. There's a group of 3 or 4 of them that are native to this exact location. And just recently, I've just spotted now some falcons that are here as well. And at night, I can actually hear a couple of different owls from the forest. It would be so exciting to actually go out and hunt down where they have their nest and use a zoom photography to actually observe them without disturbing them. And that would be great to be able to find out their locations and actually study to see the population too. Since we're getting into aviary and the wildlife in that manner, we would like to also be able to observe the population of the local wildlife, birds of prey. Pooh Bear's sneezing away back there, and he's got some boogers in his nose. Yeah, that would be great. Very exciting plans. Got a lot of plans. I'd like to expand the workshop. I'd like to make a woodworking shop and a very livable area as like a living quarters where I can move my bed into and actually have, be able to heat and keep and maintain a warm area, have a toilet area. I think a toilet area would be something I'm really going to work on this year. And I'm looking at probably over in the corner over there, a nice little outhouse would be something to consider. So we'll see. I'm not sure how I'm going to do that yet. I have never built something like that, but there's a lot of cool things on the internet. And I'm really anxious to see if I could actually maybe even get electricity in there. So I'll have like a little light bulb. And if I get the electricity set up that I want set up here, I'll maybe even be able to put a space heater in there. Because I do the place I spend the most time in during the days is the bathroom and my car. Yeah, it's the place you spend the most of your day. At least I do. So, well, I'm going to go take a walk around. I'm probably not going to take you guys with me today because I really would like to just relax a little bit. I had a long day. And enjoy the chat with you guys. I was glad to see you all stop in, say hello here. And I really enjoyed being able to check in and share all those important upcoming events and plans and fortunate situations that are going on and unfortunate situations that are happening in here and there that I'm dealing with as well, but that's part of life. One of the greatest milestones now, I don't know if you guys have just tuned in, my channel is just short of 90 watch hours to make the 4,000 watch hour milestone to hopefully be able to monetize the channel, which is great. So we'll see how that goes here in the next couple of days. I'm really excited to see if YouTube will say, yeah, that guy is going to make us some money. So that then in turn, YouTube can make me some money. All right, I'm going to end this stream now because Bjorn just posted on his channel, and I'm going to end the stream and hop over on Bjorn's channel to see what he's posted there. I was anxious for a new video from my buddy there from Norway. So I'd like to thank everybody for tuning in today. Have a wonderful day, evening, or good night, wherever you are in the world. And like always, stay safe and see you soon.